What if the life you were supposed to live isn't the one you're living right now? What if somewhere in another version of tonight, you're not alone, you're sitting across from the one person who got away, and the coffee is still warm, and the rain outside is the same rain, but everything else is different? Stay with me. Because tonight, I'm going to tell you about a woman, a key, a teddy bear left out in the rain, and a love story that never technically happened. But by the end of this video, you're going to wonder if it did. Before we go any further, if stories like this hit you somewhere deep, somewhere quiet, hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel is built for people who still believe love leaves fingerprints, even when it walks away. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever wondered about the life you almost had? And if this story moves you, share it with someone who needs to hear it tonight. Okay. Let's begin. Her name doesn't matter yet. Not right now. What matters is the room. Small. Warm. Lit by a single lamp that throws gold across everything it touches: the desk, the walls, her hands. Outside, rain taps against the glass like it's trying to get her attention. Like it knows something she doesn't. On the desk in front of her, an old leather journal, its pages soft from years of being opened and closed, opened and closed. Beside it, a key. Not a modern key, an old brass one, heavy, ornate, the kind that used to open doors to homes people built their whole lives inside of. And clipped to that key, a tiny charm. A house. Small enough to fit in your palm. Small enough to forget you're still holding it. She stares at it like it might disappear if she blinks. Because in a way it already did. Through the window behind her, the world tells its own story. A street. Empty. Rain falling in long silver threads under the amber glow of old-fashioned lamps. And there on a bench, alone, soaked through, a teddy bear. Just sitting there. Waiting for someone who isn't coming. Nobody put it there by accident. Somebody left it. On purpose. And somebody never came back for it. Above the street, mounted high on a building, a clock. Its hands frozen at a time that means something only to her. Not to us. Not yet. The sun is setting behind it, all burning orange, dying slow, like it's reluctant to leave too. This isn't just weather. This isn't just a street. This is a memory wearing the costume of a place. Next to the journal, in a small wooden frame, there's a photograph. A man and a woman, standing somewhere high above a city, wrapped around each other like the cold doesn't exist when you're that close to someone. Her face is turned into his shoulder. His eyes are closed. The whole city glitters beneath them like it's applauding. They look like two people who were about to start something enormous. A wedding. A home. Maybe children, maybe that's why there's a teddy bear sitting in the rain, waiting for a child who was never born into a life that was never finished. She picks up the photograph. Her fingers move slowly over the glass, like she's trying to touch him through it. And here's the question that should be sitting in your chest right now. What happened to him? She opens the journal. The pages are filled not with dates, not with facts, but with fragments. Half sentences. Things too painful to finish writing. If I had said yes that morning. He asked me to come with him, and I. The house on Meridian Street. We picked out curtains. We never picked out anything else. Every entry stops mid-thought. Like her own hand refused to let her finish confessing the truth. Because here's the truth about almost love: it doesn't end with a dramatic goodbye. It ends in silence. In hesitation. In one small decision that felt insignificant at the time. And turned out to be the hinge the rest of your life swung on. She didn't lose him in a moment. She lost him in a pause. Let's go back. Years back. To the moment this all started. He had a job offer. Another city. Another life, waiting to be built from scratch, and he wanted her to build it with him. He held out his hand, that key already made, already cut, a promise disguised as brass and metal. Come with me, he said. Let's find out who we become together. And she had roots here. A job she wasn't ready to leave. A fear she never spoke out loud, not even to herself, the fear that if she gave him everything, and it fell apart anyway, she wouldn't survive losing both the man and the life she rebuilt for him. So she said the 4 words that quietly ended everything. I need more time. He nodded. He understood. He always understood. That was the worst part. He left with a promise to call. And for a while he did. Until the calls got shorter. Until the silences got longer. Until one day the phone just stopped ringing. She looks back at the window. At the bench. At the bear sitting alone in the rain. Now you understand. That bear isn't just a bear. It's the version of their life that never got to exist. The nursery never painted, the nights never spent falling asleep to the sound of someone else breathing beside her. The clock frozen above the street. That's the exact moment she said, I need more time, because in her mind, time never moved past that sentence. Every day since has just been an echo of that one conversation, playing on a loop she can't turn off. And the key? The one with the tiny house charm. He mailed it to her. 2 years later. No note. No explanation. Just the key to a house she never got to walk into. A door she'll never get to open. A life with her name on it that someone else is probably living in now. But here's where the story turns. Because a letter falls out from between the journal's pages, one she'd forgotten was tucked inside. Dated just last month. It's from him. He's coming back. Not for her, he's clear about that, gentle but clear. He's coming back to this city for work. And he wanted her to know before she heard it from someone else, because after everything, he still didn't want her to be blindsided. He's engaged now. To someone else. Building the life he once offered her with somebody who said yes. And that's the moment it really hits her. This isn't a story about getting him back. This is a story about grief for a life that never technically died because it never technically lived. You can't hold a funeral for something that only existed in what if. She sits with that letter in her lap, rain still falling outside, that frozen clock still marking a moment that the rest of the world moved past years ago. And she finally understands the hardest truth of almost love. Some people don't leave you broken. They leave you paused. She closes the journal. She doesn't throw the key away. She doesn't burn the photograph. She doesn't perform some big cathartic release, because real healing rarely looks like the movies. Instead, she does something quieter. Something braver. She stands up. Walks to the window. And for the first time in years, she looks at that street, the bench, the bear, the frozen clock, not as a monument to what she lost, but as a doorway she's finally ready to close. Because the life we almost lived together, it still shapes us. It still visits us in rainy windows and old journals and keys that open nothing anymore. But it doesn't get to be the only story we tell about ourselves. So here's my question for you, and I want you to actually answer it in the comments, because I read every single one. Is there a life you almost lived? A person, a decision, a door you didn't walk through? Tell me about it below. Let's build a place in these comments where people aren't afraid to say, I still think about it. If this story found its way into your chest tonight, hit subscribe. There's more where this came from, every single week. Share this with someone who needs to hear that their almost story still matters. And like this video if you believe that love, even the kind that never fully happened, still leaves its fingerprints on who we become. I'll see you in the next story.